Greg Swann here from selfadoration.com. It is January the 2nd, 2014. Happy New Year to you, to me, and to everyone. I published an essay just before New Year's about mastering something difficult in the new year. This is the season of New Year's resolutions, and everyone resolves to do something that may or may not be dramatic and may or may not be all that difficult, but typically is not really all that avidly desired, and in consequence is soon abandoned. This is the fate of New Year's resolutions. I've been thinking since my birthday this year, I've been thinking that your own birthday might be a better date to set aside for making major changes in your life, or thinking about major changes in your life, or you might just choose to go with the first of every month, just to have a way of keeping an eye on yourself. And I have suggestions in that regard too, that whether you do it on your birthday or January 1st or the first of every month or some other date that you pick out, what you really want to do is obviously you want to list your goals for the things that you want to accomplish, the things that you want to change over the span of time that you're dealing with, but you also want to take account of your past to see how the past month or the past year has turned out for you in terms of the goals that you had hoped to achieve in that span of time. Judah Hoover complimented me in email some time ago for managing to speak at the 21 convention. I answered a question about achieving goals without ever once using the word goals. And I wasn't really trying to avoid the word, but I really don't like it either, because goals are too much like New Year's resolutions. They're amorphous, nebulous, honored mostly in the breach. Whereas if you set the objective of mastering something truly difficult, something that you've always wanted to do, learn a foreign language, or master some discipline in math or in the sciences, become really well-versed in the mysteries of astrophysics, if that's what's interesting to you, learn to play a musical instrument, learn to dance. If there's something that you've always wanted to do, that this is the perfect year to get the job done, or at least get it started. If it's learning something truly difficult like mastery of a foreign language, it might take 2 or 3 or 4 years to get to a point where you're really fluent. But 4 years from now, what will you have accomplished? And nothing if you don't get started sometime. And so why not today? Why not now? Why not whenever now is? Whenever you see this. It doesn't have to be some arbitrary date on the calendar. There's something that truly difficult, something that truly requires mastery that you've always wanted to do. And I know there is, because everybody has this. Everybody feels this way. Why not get started on it? Why not put it into practice? If you go back to the very first of these videos that I put together, I'm playing my guitar in all of these. I don't think I've missed one yet. But the first of these videos was made like April 15th, 2012. So coming up on 2 years ago now. And I was able to play the guitar to some level of proficiency in that first movie, but it's nothing like now. And I promise you that 2 years from now, the way I play will be nothing like this. I'll be so much better. But it's all really just a matter of setting the objective and moving toward it. That was what I said at the 21 convention, to not ostentatiously avoiding the word goal, but just talking about objectives, about desires, about values, about what it is that you want. And the way to achieve any sort of a major objective is to imagine the victory condition, imagine it done, imagine it finished, and then move toward it. You figure out what is the way to move toward it, and you move incrementally toward it. It's very rare that you're going to achieve anything truly remarkable overnight, and if it's overnight, it probably isn't remarkable, and if you really did, and it really was remarkable, then 3 cheers for you, but the rest of us are normal people, and it takes us a while to get where we're going, but all we have to do is move. All you have to do is move. And what's interesting about this, from my point of view, from the point of view of my philosophy, is you're going to move anyway. You're going to move anyway. People say, a leopard can't change his spots. Oh, he'll never change. We're always changing. We're always moving. We're always moving one way or another. And the question is, are we moving for the worse? Moving toward greater evil? Are we moving at random, no real direction, just helter-skelter, hurly-burly, hark-and-jerk, and never get anywhere? Are we moving toward our values, toward things that we truly admire and aspire to? But even if you don't work hard to master something difficult, even if you're not constantly working hard to master something difficult, nevertheless, you're gonna move, you're gonna change. When people say people never change, what they mean is that asshole always gets worse. That's what they mean. And that is a choice that people do make. There are bad people out there. I don't think there are very many of them, but there are bad people out there, and the way that they approach life is to figure out every situation they're in and figure out the choice that will result in the greatest ongoing self-loathing for the person who's acting. Whatever else may happen, and you can note all kinds of other secondary consequences of what's going on, but what's really going on in this is this person has learned to choose for self-loathing all of his life, and he's going to choose that way very probably going forward. That people can change dramatically. People can reverse their direction on that number line of values. But people who are stoutly, steadfastly committed to squalor will choose squalor every time. They will choose squalor every time. And if you look at it that way, choosing splendor or squalor, then you can get rid of the idea that they should be struck down by a bolt of lightning for being so vicious and evil, that in the instant moment God should declare that they are future intolerable and eradicate them from the planet immediately. That doesn't happen. What does happen is squalor, is progressively greater and greater squalor, greater misery, greater self-loathing, and worse acting out behavior, because this is all acting out behavior. This is all just display behavior. If you're not pursuing evil, but you're not really trying to advance your goals at all, then you're moving in the drunkard's walk, a little bit this way, a little bit that way, a little bit north, a little bit south, a little bit here for a while because you think you might want to stay, a little bit over there for a short while because you just had to get away. I'm writing a song. But you never really get anywhere. You don't get anywhere. And the only way you get anywhere is by setting clear, objective goals that will move you toward your values, and then get moving. Where I am is at the threshold of my own something difficult for 2014. I have all kinds of huge objectives for the rest of my life. I'm playing the guitar well enough now that I'm starting to think about other instruments. I'm very interested in the banjo, for instance, in the mandolin in due course. I'd like to learn to play electric bass, But I'm thinking that the way to do that is by learning to play the piano instead, because I'll learn so much music theory playing the piano. I'll learn the bass clef. I'll learn how to play the bass line with my left hand on the piano, and then I just swap it over, like learning the ukulele or like learning the banjo will be when I get to it. But this is all future stuff. I don't know when I'm going to get to that. I'm watching Spanish television. I'm looking over at the television. It's not on right now, but I'm watching Spanish television a lot and learning a ton of Spanish because it's easy, because the grammar is very easy, because I have a lot of Latin, I have a lot of English, and I have a lot of experience with Spanish because I live in Phoenix, for God's sake. I do anticipate learning to speak Spanish in the next couple of years, mainly by osmosis. I may apply myself to some sort of academic study of Spanish. I've done it in the past, and I've not proceeded very far, but I've gotten so far in Latin that it's real easy for me to work backwards into any Romance language. So anyway, that's one of the others that's kind of on the front burner, or closer to the front burner, but the one that matters most to me right now is I want to start a church. And I don't know what to do about it. I agonize about it. I think about it all the time, and I'm not in love with anything that I've done so far, but I feel like I'm heading in the right direction. The point is, imagine perfection and move that way. Okay, so I know kind of sort of what I'd like to see as the finished product, and I just have to move in that direction. I need help, and that's really my mastering something difficult for 2014 is admitting that I need help and asking for it. I'm not good at anything like that. I never have been. I am very, very good at doing things all on my own and making things perfect exactly the way I want them. This is not something I can do all by myself. And I need lots of help, and lots of help every which way. The most immediate thing I really need right now is a place to hold this church, and I'd really like to do it in a bar. I live in Phoenix. It's not going to be anybody anywhere but Phoenix right now because that's where I am, but I'd really like to do it in a bar on Saturday afternoon, like 4 to 6 p.m. or something like that. The bar's a little slow in the afternoon, and they want to try to build a crowd for the evening. I'm your guy. I want to do that, and I don't go to your church. Don't be afraid of me. I don't go to your church is what I say. I'm eager to have you come to mine, but I don't intend to exclude anyone or to denounce anyone or to argue with anyone. I have my own thoughts about theology, and I'm sure if you dig a little you can work out what they might be, but I don't want to do anything at all like that in this church. To the contrary, what I want to talk about is nothing but my philosophy, and even then, nothing but values and how most avidly to pursue them. So I would be most benefited if somebody could come up with a place for me to do this, ideally a bar in the late afternoon on Saturdays. Need people to be involved, to attend, and have a good time, I would hope. But anyone else who wants to be involved, I mean, music and video are two places where I could really use some support. I know I need a lot of stuff in the way of equipment, and I don't even know how much or what stuff I really need, but I have an Amazon wish list. If you want to buy something to make this happen, I would be very grateful, and frankly, I need financial support. I'm a real estate broker. That's what I do for a living, and if I want to do that for a living for the rest of my life, I can, and I'll make a decent living at it. I'll probably never get really rich, and I'll never be broke, and I won't do any of this other work. I won't do the stuff that I've been doing for the past 2 years because I'll be busy making a living, and that's, that's perfectly fine. I mean, nobody owes me a living, and I'm not making the appeal on that basis. What I'm saying is I'm offering you a product, a set of ideas, a praxis that will lead you to splendor, that will lead you to the ultimate satisfaction of all of your values, all of your desires, that will give you the best possible chance of having a happy, fulfilled life, being able to look back on your life when you are approaching your demise, and to look back and say, I made the right choices, I did the right things, and I want to help you do that. And this is the sort of stuff that I talk about all the time, and the fact that I'm having to appeal to you for money is not pleasing to me. This is more of the same. I really don't like asking for help. I really don't like asking people for anything, but I don't really care about money. It doesn't mean anything to me. All I really care about are ideas. And that's why I have so many ideas, why I have such great ideas. And I want to shed this. I want to share this. I want to spread this around. And this is something that we can do together. This is something that you can participate in, and I want you to. I want you to be a part of this. So I'll put a link with the video to a place where you can go to offer whatever help you want to offer, and I'm grateful for anything you can do. I'm eager to put this in motion, and I'm doing everything that I can do on my own, but I definitely do need help, and my big hurdle for 2014 is to get over that aversion to asking for help. I need your help. I'm glad to have you kick in. On the subject of pursuing your goals, I posted the Heidi diet, my weight loss regimen. Again, if you go back and look over these videos over the last couple of years, you can watch my face shrink. My face get thinner and thinner, and this is just because I've been gradually losing weight over the course of really the last 3 years. Gradually losing weight, never very much at any one time, but steadily losing it just as I steadily gained it. And the post that I put up is how I'm doing it, and it is not a diet in any sense of the word. It does not involve any sort of numerical calculation or mastery of arcane details, and it's completely Heidi. I can't do anything like that, but I can get big jobs done over the long haul if I move in the direction I want to move in. The Heidi diet is a perfect example of my style of goal setting in action. I don't want a long list of hairy details that I will forget about on the third day because this is boring. It is no fun. Just change my philosophy. I change my ideas. And by changing my ideas, I change everything over time. Nothing is immediate or dramatic, but everything changes wonderfully over time. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that I am making a series of videos for my friend Anthony Dream Johnson, who is the founder of the 21 convention. He's getting married. I am the officiant at his marriage on February 2nd, so literally a month from today. And I am making a series of videos on love, sex, marriage, and family for the 21 Convention's YouTube website. And one of those movies, the first of those movies, is up today. It's about radical orgasm farming. It's about achieving, this is no joke, achieving instantaneous, continuous multiple orgasms. The good news is it's doable. The bad news is boys can't have them. The best news is girls can, and that's what this movie is about. It's the philosophy of romantic love as expressed in the biomechanics of the female orgasm, which is really funny for me, but it's completely in line with my philosophy. So part of my goal pursuit this year is to do a bunch of these movies for Dream Johnson, and I would encourage you to pursue them if you want to get better at your romantic relationships. I am so grateful to you for indulging me. I push people, I know it, and I want to push you more. I want to push you nationwide. I want to do a Saturday church service once a week on Saturday, but every day of the week I want to be somewhere different, promoting the idea of egoism in action. That not enough to have the right ideas. In the long run, you won't do the right things without the right ideas, but it's only the two together, the right ideas with the follow-through, with the action, that makes all the difference. And this is my gospel. This is my truth. This is my message. This is my mission. And together, you and I can make a huge televangelical mission out of this idea, out of the idea of doing better, being better, loving yourself. So let's get on it. What do you think? Bless you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great life.